All right, regional consultant Mark Bartosik here. How's it going, everyone? Listen, I was talking with someone earlier about just common stuff, conversation, and at the end of it, they were saying like how they wish they were recording me just that way they can contemplate on all that I was saying. I know I talk pretty fast, so I'm going to see how much of it I remember and put it on here for all of you to sit there and just hear and listen to, contemplate, whatever you like. So, the matter is why we simply accept the way things are. You know, I never really saw the differences between realists and idealists. I didn't ever claim on either side, but I guess if it did come down to it and people wanted to label it, I fall probably more on the idealist side than the realist. Because the thing is I just can't be realistic. I can't understand seeing something to be realistic. You know, Will Smith said, why would you want to be realistic? Realistic is the fastest path to mediocrity. You know, it's unrealistic to walk in a room and flip a switch and have lights come on. That's unrealistic. But thankfully, Edison didn't believe such. It's unrealistic to bend metal and put people in this, piece of metal and believe that you can send it over a body of water. That's unrealistic. But thankfully, the White brothers and the others didn't believe such. So the whole thing of being realistic, I can't see. It was realistic and believe throughout the world that the world is flat. It was realistic and believe throughout the world that the world was at the center of the universe. It was realistic that, and known throughout the entire world, that no one can run a mile faster than 4 minutes. But in 1950s, Roger Bannister ran the mile faster than 4 minutes. And since then, over 20,000 people have done such. But the thing is I learned this from Les Brown, but he sat there and says, what changed? What changed? Nothing, other than the fact that it was believed that it could be done. Now when these people took the field, including high school kids, they got on the track and they knew that it had been done before, so they knew that they could do it. So the whole thing is that things have been done before, so you can do it. There's pretty much two certainties in life that I was talking about and throughout the conversation, where one of which is that nothing in life is realistic. Because you can't take anything as is, because you know that it can be disproved. It was disproved that the world was flat. It was disproved that the world was in the center of the universe. It was disproved that you can't run a mile faster than 4 minutes. There's so many other things that you can keep on going. But the matter is, and then the other thing is that you can't achieve anything. Where there is a will, there is a way. I've always believed such things. But the thing is you have to find that way. Not only do you have to have that will, but you also have to use your will to find the way in order to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. But the thing is Michael Phelps sat there and got how many gold medals? Because he willed it. He really wanted to do it. You had Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas because he had the will to do it. You have Roger Bannister that beats the 4-minute mile because he had the will to do it. So what do you really want to do? What is your motivation? What is your inspiration? What is something that you want to accomplish? Go and find it and chase after it, and don't let anything stop you. You're going to have hurdles in life. You're going to have obstacles. Just hump over them. Just go over them and go through them if you have to. The walls were put there for everybody else as challenges to keep everyone else out, not to keep you out. Because if you're the one that really wants it, then you'll find a way over that wall, no matter how high it is, no matter how thick it is. But the couple other things I was talking about with her was with how people take things as is like we sit there and you got to look at the world and just take a step back for a minute. Take that outsider view, outside looking in. You sit there and you look and you're going to a job you don't like. You get sick and you continue to go to it even while you're sick, and you get more stressed out and you keep going and you keep going and you complain about the long hours and the little pay and all this other stressful stuff. But the thing is you still sit there, go and do it. If you want a change in your life, make a change. Whether it's quitting your job, leaving a relationship, getting a new relationship, getting a new car, new house, new zip code, whatever it may be. If you're looking for a change, you have to be the change. You have to make the change. And I always remember with what Alan Watts was sitting there and saying on, if there was a college course and people came to him and talked to him like, well, I'm not sure what I want to do with my life. I'm not sure what, I want to do after college. And he'd sit down and say like, well, what do you like to do? And if money were no issue, what would you like to do? And after they go through, I'd like to do this or I'd like to do that, then they'd sit there and settle down on something like, I'd like to, be a train conductor or whatever it may be. And he would say, well, you go and do that, and don't worry about the money. Because if you sit there and you worry about the money, then you'll go on doing something you don't like doing, to go on living, to go on doing something that you don't like doing. And that's just stupid. And the thing is, I have this drilled into my brain pretty much just because of the fact that it's true. You follow stuff that you don't like to do just to keep on living your life. That's not truly living. You're straining your week-to-week basis, living paycheck to paycheck, just to live a life that you don't like to, that you're not really truly living, that you're doing stuff that you don't like to do. And how stressful is that on your body and your mind? That is, like I was saying in a previous video, that is not filling your brain with good nutrients. That's filling it with nothing but stress. And then at the end of the week, you get so much relief. I remember Tony Robbins talking about how, we live in such a box life. We wake up, we sleep on a box, we wake up, we eat out of a box, we sit there and drive a box, to work in a box, then drive back to live in a box and sleep back on a box, and maybe just before going back to sleep, you might there and grab a cylinder and drink that down, so just to change things up. But the thing is we're living in this box life. You got to think outside the box. You're always thinking like, okay, this can't be done. I can't do that because I have to go to work. I have to go home. I got to feed the kids. I got to go to the car and grab something. I got to drive to this, go shopping, whatever it may be. And you're so stressed out on box to box to box to box. You're not thinking like, hey, well, what's outside of that box? What can I find over here? What can I look for over there? When we were kids, we sat there and we looked everywhere. Hide and seek, games we played, whatever we did, we looked every single which way. When you had to hunt for Easter eggs and they told you there was candy in it, you looked everywhere you can think of and everywhere you couldn't think of just because you wanted to find candy. I swear, when you're a kid, you always love finding stuff. Why not still sit there as an adult and look for the same things? Why do we sit there and once we grow up to become an adult, we figure like, oh, we're going to put that childish stuff behind us? Childish stuff, man, I envy the children because they can see a lot more stuff than we can. They see life in a whole nother perspective. But it's not a negative way, it's a positive way. Because the thing is they have no limits. If you sit there and you want to be an astronaut, you're going to be like, oh, well, I can't do that and I can't do that. And they're probably going to have something for this. But you tell a kid and he says he wants to be an astronaut, you're going to sit there and tell him all the reasons why he can't be? Or are you going to let them chase his dream? You tell a girl how she wants to be a princess, she'll go and be a princess. The thing is, you're not going to sit there and tell her like, oh, well, you can't do that. You got to be more realistic. When they're little, you just let them be and let them dream. But as we get older, people sit there and start to tell us, that, this can't be done. I remember Steve Jobs talking about how, when you grow up, you're taught to believe that things are the way they are and to go on and follow the way things are and live your life like everyone else, where you go to school and you get a job, and you get a degree, you get a job, and you raise a family, and then you pay your bills and die and stuff. But the thing is and this is a whole famous speech by him, and he even talks about with like how the people who are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world are usually the ones that do, and that everything around you was created by people that were no smarter than you. And I love this concept as well, because it just goes to show like, if you believe you can do it, you can do it. Everybody that's believed that they can do something, they get it done, if they pursue it truly to the end. Because yes, you can sit there and believe like, oh, I'm going to fly. Well, I'm not saying to be completely unrealistic, but we do got to be a little, limiting on our goals. Like, set the bar certain standards at first. Move them on up from there. But the matter of what you can achieve, you want to be a millionaire, fine. You want to be a billionaire, fine. You want to be a trillionaire, fine. No one's done it before, so what? Be the first one. Because I guarantee you, if not the first one, you'll still be able to end up being the second or the third or the fourth or 100th or 1,000th. Because the thing is, once someone else does it, you know that it can be done, so you can do it too. So are you going to be the one that shows everyone else that it can be done? Or are you going to wait for someone else to achieve it, and then you're going to do like, oh, well, that guy did it, so that means I can do it now. So you're going to be the Roger Bannister of matters, or are you going to be all the 20,000 that followed? Which, either one, it doesn't matter. You set your own pace. But I'm just saying, you don't have to wait today. You can do it in the now. You don't have to wait for next week or when my life's going to be better. Because I guarantee you, the one thing is people talk about how I'll wait till all my ducks are in a row, or I'll wait till this, or I'll wait till that. You're going to keep waiting. It's like, Your ducks will never all be in a row. Life happens. And Jim Rohn talks about that where, life happens to everybody. And people like to blame life. It's like, oh, well, this happened in life and this happened in life. And I do understand. I truly understand there is a lot of things in life that go on. But you know what? Stuff happens to everybody. Not necessarily to the same degrees. But in their matters of perspective, it's just as dramatizing, maybe, maybe not. Regardless, the point is, it's not what happens, it's what you do with what happens. It's not what the cards are, it's how you play them. So the thing is however you figure that life gave you a raw hand, that gave you a short stick or bad deal, whatever. Well, take it and turn it into something good. Because the thing is even if it was bad, that doesn't mean that you can't still use it to change things. And then you'll be able to say that you've overcome that much more. It's one thing to go from 0 to 100. It's that much more to go from -10 to 100 or -50. I've personally known a man where he sat there and he went not just to rock bottom but even lower. But he didn't let that stop him because now he's achieved even that much more. So simply just remember, everything is possible. Anything is possible. Never give up, and it's never too late. Don't give up on your dreams. Find your dream and chase it. And then grab it, though. Don't spend your entire life chasing your dreams. You can go and get it. Never say never. Everything you have, everything you need, you already have inside you. You just got to find it and just make the decision to get started.